Hello and welcome to TPS Tonight, everybody. We're so excited that you're here. We want to take this time to go over a couple of things with you. First off, starting with the beautiful Breonna Taylor. Today would have been her 27th birthday, and we just want to take a moment to recognize the life that she could have had and how tragic the circumstances of her death were. And if there's anything that you can do to fight against police brutality and the white supremacist system that we live in, please do so if you can. TPS stands behind every single Black person in our community and across the world. And so we've signed the petition, donated to her family. If you can, email the Kentucky Attorney General, the mayor, the governor, anybody possible. You can use your amazing artistic skills to memorialize Breonna, donate to the Louisville Community Bail Fund, and so many more items in that link that I have posted, and we'll definitely email all of this information to you afterwards. We also want to take the time to recognize that we live, work, and play on the unceded and traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples. We occupy this land. This acknowledgement clearly doesn't take place of authentic relationships with our Indigenous communities that we live and play with, but it does serve as this first step in honoring the land that we occupy. And there are several places to support those Indigenous communities like Red Eagle Soaring, the Chief Seattle Club, and the Indigenous Mutual Aid Fund. And a few things to know for our show tonight. You can ask questions using the Q&A feature in your menu bar that our hosts and guests will answer later on in their show in their segment, The Kids Want to Know. You can also use the chat throughout the show to engage with the host and fellow audience members. Definitely feel free to use that as much as you want to. This presentation is being recorded for future broadcast, and closed captioning will be available in the recording. And now, without further ado, I want to introduce to you Jimmy and Alexandria.
Oh, your face. You're like,
this is good. I'm just trying to, like, I'm working on my cheekbones.
You got the Chloe hat. Ooh.
Stop it. Her name is June. She busting out all over.
All over.
All over, darling.
How are you?
I mean, I think I've been saying this for a minute. Life be lifing.
Welcome to TPS Tonight, where life be lifing.
Life be lifing. Okay, thank you, Jazzy.
That's a dog who's lifing right now.
She knows.
Is lifing right now.
She was like, yo,
can you not lie?
the struggle. Okay. Charles, give her a treat. I know that y'all understand, especially you and Charles. I think about the life be lifing as far as, like, you can have the pinnacle of joy as well as depth of sorrow, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think about your wedding day. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was when I started saying that life be lifing, because don't nobody know how to celebrate and mourn at the same time. You know what I mean? I ain't got to go there because it ain't my business to share, but you know what I'm saying. So
it was a night.
Right? And so I feel like that has legitimately been my week. I hope y'all ain't been living under no gosh darn rock. Cause
if you have, we finna turn it over.
I'm telling you, the light, get ready to squint. Okay. Because it's just been some stuff going down that ain't new, to be honest. It's been happening for a very long time. But this week especially, I felt like deep anger, deep rage, deep sorrow. And like, I had a fantastic week at the same time. Like, I got to spend time with, first of all, one of my closest friends, Haker. And then, I'm sorry, you too, but she knows who I'm talking to. And then more people started adding on to that. So like you and Charles, or like Andy and Jesse. So like Sarah and I got to like actually hang this week after like we self-isolated for forever, so don't come for us. But it was just a lovely, lovely time to see the people who refill my cup. And it was lovely, and also some of the heaviest stuff that has ever happened. Like Cassandra said, I like that we're focusing on Breonna Taylor because, like, Black women still ain't getting the press that she deserves out here in these streets. And that is heartbreaking. This whole thing is heartbreaking. I just want to say, Jimmy, the fact that every single show that we have had, with the exception of the inaugural show, because we didn't really have something, like, to be able to have to say somebody's name every week has been tumultuous to say the least.
I think heartbreaking is you hit the nail on the head. I think that I will say that I'm proud of the world, because I don't know that it's ever been, not everybody in the world, but I don't know that it's been on this kind of global scale before. And so the recognition and the understanding of the wrongdoing is heightened.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we live in a different day and age where social media can have its good use now. It can be put to good use. Versus in the past, we didn't have a social media, so your flyer can get thrown away. Your billboard can get taken down. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
can report your picture. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Social media, it's kind of every man for himself. And for a while, that was a detriment, but I don't know that it is right now. Breathe. That's all you can do.
I mean,
just breathe.
It's because ain't it a blessing too?
And everybody out there, the thing that we want I want to slide into our pop topic, but getting into the pop topic, we talked about happy stories. And one of the things that we figured out is there are not a lot of happy stories. Like, I'm combing through the interwebs. I'm watching the Good Morning Americas. I'm watching the Views. I'm watching the fakes. I mean, the reels.
Stop it. I mean, that ain't no happy story, but we can talk about it.
Amanda says, I'm leaving the real. Did you see her statement?
I only saw, what was that? She was doing an interview with somebody, and she said that she just didn't feel like her voice was being contributed to actual, like, real.
Well, apparently her and Jeannie Mai got into a fight.
Oh, why Jeannie?
They're all crazy.
You know what?
Oh, I guess this is a happy story. This story makes you smile. Yes.
You're so wrong for that.
Bring Tamar back.
No, let Tamar elevate.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
I know we split into pop topics, but I got a question for you because I want to know if it's just me. This might be TMI. Are you ready? Are you going to answer it? And you better not lie.
I withhold the right.
Okay.
What?
So I get really excited about this show. When I know that this show is coming, I'm getting ready. Like, I'm about to go to the studio to film this amazing show, which it is, with this amazing audience, which y'all are, but
hey,
live
y'all.
in living color, in living blackness. And I like to take a shower right before the show. I brush my teeth.
Where are we going with this?
I get a little. Do you not get ready like you're about to leave the house before the show?
Oh, why did you ask like it was like you was gonna ask me when's the last time I saw a man or something?
I was gonna ask you, like, do you shower before the show? Like,
and then I'd be like, no, I just sit here funky in a brand new shirt.
To each their own.
I do not sit here funky in a brand new shirt.
That's what I'm saying. It was TMI because what if you did?
So
and then you lied and been like, oh yeah, I showered.
Oh yeah. I washed my legs. So so I don't have to lie. Not only do I completely scrub, I mean, I am in sweatpants. I just got to be honest, y'all. I got all these cute tops. Hold on, I'll show you. No boobs coming out this week. she's covered up and she's in black because we cute in the morning, okay? So you still see the bra a little bit because she's cute, but in sweatpants. But I definitely shower. Let me tell you what else I do. Shower, put on deodorant, I put on perfume. I smell real good. Can't nobody smell me. I put on perfume
except for today. I didn't.
I smell really, really good.
Perfume. I meant cologne.
And actually, I wear cologne. My perfume is a male cologne, but it smells good. And I kept saying like, I'm gonna get me a man and spray it on him. And then I was like, but what if it works with my pH balance? And it did.
Yeah, those pheromones.
I smell good. I put on this wig y'all ain't never seen. Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I mean, okay, so wait, and to what you were saying too, what Jimmy was saying, like we are scrounging to find happy-go-lucky good news. Trust. Like it actually, when we were discussing, I said I have a piece of good news, and then as we started talking about, we started dismantling it, and then it was just like and then we got back to another topic. But I still kind of want to talk about it. Can I talk about it?
Talk about your good news. Talk about this.
Thank you. Hi. My name is Alexandria, and this good news goes out to Jesse Mercury of Space Nerds. He has a sci-fi podcast called Space Nerds. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your free podcasts. So y'all, they sent 2 men into space last weekend, and it was so much fun to watch. It was fun to watch, and also I fell asleep, but it was also still fun to watch. Let me tell you why. So the reason why it's so groundbreaking is because they sent these 2 astronauts up in a commercial shuttle for the first time. So the shuttle was like either commissioned or built by, or y'all gotta correct me, Jesse, get up in these comments. Elon Musk's company built the spaceship. So it's like the first commercial, like non-NASA thing that flew some humans up into space. And then they met the International Space Station, and they're going to do some work on the space station and then come back home. But it was really, so they had like like weather stopped them from being able to get up into the atmosphere last week. And so then they started again on Saturday, had a beautiful launch. Everything went great. And then like it was over the course of quite a few hours. So even while lots of terrible things were happening on Earth, to be able to like log into the NASA YouTube live stream and see them literally in space, and they were like docking the spaceship up against the International Space Station, built by SpaceX. Thank you, Kate. So like the reason why I fell asleep was because NASA has this really great soothing music that they play in between all their segments. So they were like, we're going to take a quick break because it's going to take them a few hours to like fully dock and open up the hatch. And then we're going to come back and the men are going to walk into this International Space Station. And they take a break and it goes, this is 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. 6 a.m. I'm like, yeah. I'm about to stay up and watch these men get on the International Space Station. That music said, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is good to me. Knocked out. Now, not only did I pass out at the most inopportune time, when I tell you I went to sleep, I think when I watched it up until about 7 a.m., fell asleep at 7. I feel like somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all get in the comments. I feel like they walked onto the ISS at like 7:16. So like whenever I fell asleep, it was only a short few minutes before they were actually on it. But at least I got to go back and like rewind it and watch it over again. But it was super great that we had something super landmark happening that, you know, gives some people something to believe in. There's some hope out there that, I mean, the NASA head guy was talking about
to make it right.
I mean, the NASA head guy, somebody knows what his name is, said that they want to start doing more, getting more women up into space and be more diverse. And I said, we hear you. Now do it now. So, and that's the space news. Yes, Jesse.
Do you remember? You probably don't. But there used to be this show on UPN with Flex Alexander and Daryl. I can't think of his name. No. Homeboys in outer space.
Homeboys in outer space? Homeboys from outer space or in outer space?
In outer space. And it had Rona from In Vogue and all that. Oh, that was
I know the name, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
That was
I'm only 16
show, but I loved it. and then it failed, and then after it failed, they created 30 Rock from the Sun, which was like a trash show but funny, and it was like kind of like
Third Rock.
Single.
Third Rock from the Sun.
What'd I say?
30.
Oh, because it's 30 Rock.
You're right. Both of them. 30 Rock from the Sun. It's one of those Wheel of Fortune before and after puzzles.
I swear it's just water. I just want nobody to get free advertisements. See?
Here you go. So check this water, you guys. I got it. It's
a light shade of transparent.
Yeah. Such an influencer. Drink your H2O, kids.
Stop.
Okay.
I was being a Gen Zer.
I love that. Stop it. What's H2O? Ooh, what's that?
Did you
yes.
see in Pop Topic that Alexis, let me see how to say his name. Alexis
Ohanian.
Alexis O. Serena Williams' husband.
Senior.
Stepped down from Reddit. So in hopes, because he can't, once you step down, you can't change it, but in hopes that a black man fills his position, or a black person fills his position from a company that he like co-founded. What are your thoughts?
Well, sure.
Step down as the CEO, because he said he has a black daughter, and if he's going to invoke change, it's got to be action.
Mm-hmm. Unpopular opinion. Great. I don't.
Yes, and.
I really try not to give black girl cookies to people who do the right thing because they have someone related to them who is now in the plight. Before you had your black daughter, you also had a black wife. Before you had a black wife, you had a black girlfriend. Before you had a black girlfriend, black people existed and were still worthy of recognition and consideration. So yay! Good for Reddit.
Oh, just quick. What flavor are these black girl cookies? And where might I purchase them?
I'm sick of you. I know that much. I'm sick of you. But that sounds great. I feel like maybe, I don't know what I would do in his position because she lives in an apartment in the hood. Great. If maybe hire someone and then step down so that way you can ensure that there's a black person who takes your job. I love all these people who are talking right now. Where are my Marshawn Lynches who are about that action, boss? Ooh, he's so fine. Oh my God.
You think?
Hallelujah.
Really?
From my spirit. Oh yes. Oh
Marshawn,
yes.
That makes, I'm not.
You know what? Good night. Thank y'all so much for joining TPS Tonight. We couldn't even get to Angela because Jimmy want to act up. He's fine. Yes and yes.
Is he tall enough for you?
He's like, I don't know.
You are so, I'm going to say, detailed about what you specifically want.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. His height is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He's 5'11".
His height is fine. His height is fine. Thank you. Thank you for
in heels? Aren't you
I feel like why are we talking about me? Why are we talking about me?
Aren't you 5'11" in heels? I'm 5'8" in heels. Aren't you 5'11" in heels?
I am. How tall are the heels? Give me the inch.
Heel.
Give me, how tall are the heels? Give me the inches.
Alexandria going out heel.
I would be
5'11". 6'1".
I wear a 5-inch heel mostly when I go out.
Don't get heels allowed, ma'am. Hey, I'm in training. I get my kid. It's either a kid heel or a wedge.
Hey, man, talk about it. Now,
it's either
Tyra
a kid
is
heel
a
or a
model.
wedge.
No, she is a.
I'm talking about for
6
me.
foot or 5'11" straight up.
I need a biscuit.
I can't.
Okay.
A biscuit? You go away. He likes flats. You know you don't do nobody's biscuits. You be mad at me when I be wearing flats.
Yeah, but I'm talking about my feet.
And no wedges? Well, wedges sometimes support though. I can do a 4-inch wedge as long as it's cute. Charles, don't come for me. I thought we were cool. We are the same height when Alexandria's in heels. Are you 6'1", Jason? Let me find out.
Yeah, because I remember when you slapped him, your hand was right about shoulder level.
And those were about 4-inch heels. About every heel I wore during that show was about 4 inch, 4.5.
Because you was doing some fierce choreography.
Hey, 5B Jimmy Shields. Speaking of Jimmy Shields choreography, he's been blessing us some more on the Instagram. If y'all don't follow him, it's at JIMMYSTAR5. Also, hello to everybody who was here last week. We love to have you. Welcome.
Hey, y'all. That is so no shout out.
Are you going to start to put those on TikTok is the question.
People keep asking me that. I got to pray about the TikTok.
Okay.
But I have it, and it's in my arsenal now.
Charles,
ready to go.
Now I want you to wear a 5-inch heel flat on the ground. I want you to put on a 5-inch heel with the ball of your foot sitting right on the ground. And then you tell me wedges are trainers. Huh? Now preaching there. Huh?
Training wheels. Not even training heels. Training wheels. Oh, no. There's no video. And no, we don't want it. Hard pass. Anyway.
But yeah.
Anyway. Alexandria.
Yes.
Are you feeling like it's that time?
I'm feeling like it is that time. There is a reason why y'all are here this evening. It's not just for our beautiful Black faces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody hopefully took a picture of that because that was fun.
I hope not. Let's do it pretty low.
Oh, is this one?
Okay.
There we go. Get it. We got it. All right. Everyone who is here, we are so excited to introduce to some and present to others, because you've probably already been introduced to this human being. Someone who is not just phenomenally gifted and talented, but has the most generous heart.
Mm-hmm.
She has the most incredible sense of humor. She will sing you under the benches and revive your spirit.
Literal. With
any genre. I would never put her in a box. There ain't one genre that she can't come up and make y'all quiver in the knees. Or make you drop things in the back.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Won't he do it?
We were introduced to this bright and shining star 3 years ago. I don't know how in the world we got this woman to Issaquah, Washington. But I want you all to put your hands together. We can't see you, so just do it real loud. Make the neighbors hear, like you're screaming for your healthcare workers, because she deserves. For the most amazing Angela Birchett! Woo! She better.
Sip it, Kathleen.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hi.
Alexandria, that was probably the best intro I've ever heard. It was so good, so churchy, so Black, and I'm here for all of it.
I mean,
you
every
were
word.
All of those things.
Not nary a lie was told.
Oh, thank you, y'all. I'm so happy to be here tonight.
We're happy
so happy
we
to
got
have you.
you.
I mean,
you're right. Just pick up the phone.
Okay. I'm about to say, we can run down her resume, and we will touch on points of her resume. Angela, before we get into the nitty and the gritty, we start our interviews about the same way every week. And for you, I would like to know, who are you, where you're from, and what is your least favorite makeup trend?
Okay, my name is Angela Birchett, and I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, the Motor City, but I have been in the New York, New Jersey area for almost 15 years, and probably my least favorite makeup trend. I have to be honest, and I hope people don't get upset. But
Talk about it.
I don't like the microblading eyebrows.
Oh.
It seems severe, even on ladies and gentlemen, if they get them, that don't have eyebrows. It still feels like it goes from none to all in all of America, and I don't understand. Like, there needs to be a happy medium.
Yeah.
And I know people who get them that have full eyebrows. They just, the idea of not having to do them or keep up with them or any of that. I'm not here for them.
Can you explain to the kids what microblading is?
Sorry. So microblading is when you, it's basically like eyebrow tattoos. They go in and they do very small slices really into your skin, thus the micro and the blade into your skin, and it creates an eyebrow. When it heals, they wipe the blood or whatever comes from it, and when they're doing it, they dye it like whatever color you want, typically like a natural color, so it looks like your eyebrow. And then when it heals, the eyebrow is there, and it can last you for months and months and months. And I know most people who get them because they, their eyebrows thinned out, or they never had eyebrows and they want that, or just people who have eyebrows but they want fuller ones, or they don't want to have to do them. But I've tried, not on me, I haven't tried, but like I've seen people do them, and I've seen all different styles, and
they just go from like no eyebrows to Sharpie.
They worked for Raven Simone.
Hers are microbladed?
Yeah. Have you seen her natural eyebrow?
No.
Her natural eyebrow is like upside down. That's the way she describes it. If you look at her like Cosby Show, her eyebrow is like you.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then like a little, yeah. And so that she said that gave her like trauma a lot throughout her life.
Wow.
I've always been made fun of for my thick ass eyebrows, but you know what I did? If Whoopi can shave hers and live a good life, I can just let mine grow.
Did she shave
however
them, or did she lose them?
She said she shaved them. She doesn't like to have hair. She never had them.
Yeah.
When somebody asked her about it, she said, "I don't want hair on. I don't like body hair." So she didn't want hair on her, like even on her face. And
she got locks, the thickest locks I've ever seen.
Jimmy, can we go?
No,
back to
because
eyebrows?
I love Whoopi. That don't make sense. I'm listening.
Well, I'm just saying, like, just the eyebrows are like. I used to do you see the little concealer line, like waxing them. And then I was like, all my friends were waxing them and then drawing them on. And I was like, but mine are already thick. Y'all just make fun of me for them. So I'm just gonna let them be thick. I don't have to draw them. I don't do nothing to them no more. I don't get them lined up. That's my beauty protest. You get these caterpillars. Well, awesome, Angela. Thank you for answering those questions. How have you been with all of the news, with everything? How are you?
Today was a good day. And I kind of have to start there every day, or anytime I'm asked that. Today was a good day, or today wasn't a good day. All of this really didn't start to hit me until end of last week. And it has been, I never thought I would see what I'm seeing right now in my lifetime. I thought, we'll just kind of maintain the status quo and get along as much as we can. But I never thought I would see this type of revolt and this protest on this scale. But I also never thought that I would live through a time where my country literally felt rogue. Like we don't have a leader. We don't have any sort of base. It's just kind of a free for all in every way, not just our federal government, but just everybody in our community. There's a whole lot of just discussions and disagreements and angst and frustration and anger and rage. And so, I try to just take it a day at a time. I engage my village. I engage, my spirit and just check in with myself as much as I can. So today was a good day. Yeah.
Where were you? And I can't even say before all of this erupted because it's been a while. But in the scheme of like COVID, how were you doing with that already? Because you are you work.
Oh
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna run the resume down, but she's blessed, busy, and
Straight
beautiful.
up.
And so COVID, I'm sure, stopped that. So how were you even before all of this craziness? What was that like?
Well, I knew things were about to pick up because the film was coming out, and I knew we had already started press in January. We had been out to LA already. We did the bunch of junkets out there, and I knew just from the schedule that it was going to be madness. But I was excited. I knew this movie was super anticipated for almost a year, so my mind was all about that. So I feel like this whole COVID-19 thing kind of came sort of like a tsunami. Everybody's on the beach and they see like this thing way out far, and they're thinking, oh, well, that's just whatever, it's gonna break before it gets here. And all of a sudden we're seeing this like 100-foot wave coming toward us, and we don't have any time to pack our bags, get our stuff. We just grabbing kids, grabbing each other and running. And that's how it felt. And to be honest with you, the beginning of this, leading into this, was kind of devastating because one thing after the other our premiere for the film got canceled in February before there was ever a, shelter in place or anything like that. So I kind of knew then, late February, like, oh, this is going to change the trajectory of, what my next 2 months are supposed to look like. So, I just, I kind of had to just do what I was being told to do and be safe and kind of shift my mind. And then as things got canceled, one after the other, I just kind of settled it in myself with a lot of disappointment and sadness. But this was what we were going to do. And we were going to move forward at home. And, it crushed me because, this is my first film, definitely the biggest job I've had to date. And any other time of year, it would have gone as planned, and it all didn't. And it wasn't just movie stuff. It was things I had lined up for myself that I was going to be doing and promoting that just with no warning, no preparation. I think that's what kind of has rattled our country. We kind of watched China and Italy and everywhere else from afar, thinking, oh, but that's not going to be us. And then literally overnight, it was us. So there was no contingency plan or, here's what I have in place for coronavirus. There's no such thing. It was just all of a sudden, everybody go in the house, everybody's freaked out, and out here in New York where
buy wire and toilet paper.
Yeah, just going crazy, like going to the grocery store and you just can't get basic things that you otherwise would be, a surplus at the stores. And living in New York where most people are used to being in big crowds of people, now you got to get all these crowds of people to go in their house and stay in their house. It was a huge social shift. But it is what it is. And I just said, I don't want to be sick. So I'm going to do what the doctors and science is telling me to do and go in the house.
Amen. Before we go any further, can you mentioned the movie. We're going to talk about the movie, but can you just briefly run down, can you toot beep yourself?
Please
can
toot beep.
Run down your resume just a little bit for the kids?
Hold on, let me get my drink.
Well,
because the kids want to know.
We do.
Well, I've been working in a full-time as a musician and actor and performer for almost 15 years now, and I've worked literally zigzagged across America with and internationally. I've probably played every Asian country there is, of shows like Hairspray, Dream Girls, Smokey Joe's Cafe. Gosh, it's so many. It's hard for me to remember them because I've duplicated a lot of them. So I've done some of these shows a lot. Once on the
Color
side,
Purple.
The Color Purple, which was the show that I made finally after 10 years, made my Broadway debut with, and then went on to tour it nationally. I've had a residency in Times Square that was just phenomenal. It's crazy how people that I've never even met that are online and in the street and not even in New York are like, ain't you the girl from Herbo? And you know, lots of my jobs have come from relationships of like musical directors and people coming just to hang and have a drink and hear some good singing. Yeah, I've backed artists like Titus Burgess, Adina Menzel, so many. I've been so blessed to work with just some major folks and, you know, and support them and do my own thing as well. And of course, you know, I got my introduction to the greater Seattle area doing Dreamgirls at Village Theater, where I played Effie White.
Yes, you did.
Met you beautiful souls. And
Played the hell out of that role.
Thank you. But with television, I know we'll get to the film, but I've did some work on Kevin Can Wait, Blind Spot, done tons of voiceovers. I'm a session singer, jingle singer, all kind of stuff. So I've been very, very blessed. I've had some slow moments. I want the people to really understand when they hear me say these jobs, there were gaps between. Remember, I did almost 15 years, so that's a lot of time.
And just that was one of my favorite things about you is you are so, I don't even want to say humble, because humble would be like, oh yeah, I've done this stuff. You're like, oh yeah, I did it. You want to talk about it? That's cool. You don't want to talk about it? That's cool. Like, no sweat off my back. Like, I did it, and I love that about you. But one of my favorite moments was, I think, on Instagram or Facebook, you had just done a couple really phenomenal jobs, and then I think you substitute taught a class, and you posted on Facebook, and you were like, the hustle never stops, and that is like, I wish everybody could have seen that.
Yeah, he told me
about it because I'm like, this is the real. This woman is friends with amazing people, known people. This woman has traveled the world. This woman is, and she will. One, is not scared to put that up. Two, is like proud to go back to that job to get that check, because that's what it's about. As an artist, you still got to eat. And like you said, for 15 years, those jobs are in between spots, you know?
Right.
I love that.
That's the part whenever I talk to students or people who are transitioning out of careers that want to do this, I tell them, you have to have a thick skin, but you also need to really be able to keep your ego in check, because some people would have never, after filming a movie that went on to, you know, break records, would never feel like they should have to go do a survival job. But even in a substitute position or in a job that's not on the stage, I'm bringing me to it, and that's something unique that no one else can bring. Even if it's one student that I talk to, and you know, and even not about music, just, you know, what's going on? How's your life? I had a student at a school I went to the end of last year, actually, that, oh God, just got a crazy text from Titus.
What to say? The kids want to know. That's fine.
Don't tell us.
Repeat. What do you think? But I was substituting a ninth grade, I don't like to call it special needs because it's not special needs, but they just need extra reinforcement. And I was talking to a student who was definitely older than should have been in ninth grade, but because of his learning situation, he was there. And he just started talking to me about his life. He's heading to being trans. And to be Hispanic in the Bronx, going to school with predominantly Black and Hispanic students that are not progressive, that are still use terrible language and make fun, including teachers. He just started talking to me, and we sat there for 2 hours, and he was like, "Miss, can you just come back tomorrow?" And I knew I couldn't come back tomorrow because I had an audition. And I walked away so affected by, there's so many kids who just, people don't listen to them, or they write them off because they're different. And I remember sitting in my car and I cried for a second because it was so overwhelming, because when you're in the industry and you're doing things, you're often detached from day-to-day life. And so to sit with this boy and talk, and he didn't know me, he had never met me, and he just was like, Miss, thank you for listening to me. Nobody's teachers around here don't listen to me. And I feel better. I guess I'll come to school tomorrow. You gonna be here tomorrow? Because I'll come to school if you here. And it almost was like, I want to go back to teaching because my degree is in education and I taught school for a while. But those types of moments keep me grounded. It keeps me from feeling like I've arrived, or I don't have to, small things like I don't have to take direction, or I don't have to do this or do that, or I'm above this job. No, this is what keeps me connected, because these kids need to see real things. Up and coming artists need to see this is the part people don't tell you, because there's other people that are way more ahead in their careers than me that still got to borrow money from people, got to work a little side something, do something to make ends meet, especially if they got kids or a family. But people want to keep up this facade, and I just refuse to do it. And if that's what it takes to be there, then I don't want to be a part of that, because what's real is bills have to be paid.
Amen.
I don't have another income in my house. I'm the breadwinner. So if I gotta go work, or I gotta go, go do a gig, some crazy gig where I'm gonna sing all night, not make much, but I love to do it and it'll cover a bill, I'll do it. And I don't have no problem with that. And I'm not ashamed to share that. It's nothing shameful about it. I went to school, I earned a degree, I'm using that degree. There are so many people that didn't do that. And then when the time comes, and it usually will, they got to go find some crazy job that they don't make much money, or, it's just horrible because, that's not the path they took. So I try when I can to share like most things about me, because people need to see that. It's encouraging. It encourages someone who's, in a job that they hate, that wants to be a performer, that wants to change gears. You can do it. There's no rule that says because you're this age or because you've done this for so long that you can't. Yes, you can.
That word was brought to you by the lovely Angela Birchett.
Okay. Cash App, Venmo, your offering too. Angela Birchett. The doors of the church are open. Okay, Angela, I would like to know, how in the world did Village Theater get you out to Issaquah for Dream Girls? Will you tell us a little bit about your origin story and getting out here? I have my side of the story, which is one of my favorite things to have ever experienced in life, and I just want to know your side of the story.
So this job came along right as I knew Color Purple was closing. We had found out, a ways out that we were going to be closing. And so, and first of all, and this was something that I've been discussing on a lot of forums about being black, being on Broadway, being in the entertainment industry. I kind of had a bittersweet relationship with the prospect of doing Dreamgirls, because I had been let down so many times in the past. I knew for sure a couple of times I missed out on playing Effie because I was too fair. And one person said it in no uncertain terms. The other production literally just said, there's no way we can have a light-skinned Effie. It doesn't work. So we'd rather lose her and get a less talented person to do Effie than to have that, because we just we don't know how to go over. So
they don't know the story.
They don't know the story.
So I already kind of was like in a defeated moment when this came across my table, because I was just like, this is about to be another situation where, they'll love me because that's what I always get. Oh, she was great. But, and I'm like, don't even tell me the but. I already know the but. I don't fit in. Fine. So when this came along, and also I wasn't in the best vocal shape around that time. This was the end of 2016, and I had been burning the candle at all ends. I was doing wedding bag gigs on the weekends and doing Color Purple, and another job. I was uptown doing a Christmas show in Harlem. So I was literally like, my vocal cords were like, girl, you are dancing. You are Watusiing on the last good night. So when Dreamgirls came along, initially I was like, oh, there's no way I can even do this. Like, unless this is one of those situations where I'm doing like 3 or 4 shows a week, I can't do it. But my agent really pressed me, like, they really are looking for somebody, and I really think this will be a great opportunity for you to go and just do it. You've been in New York. Maybe it'd be nice to just get out for a minute, go work out there. There's, Seattle is a great theater community. So I put my stuff on tape. It wasn't the best because my voice was just acting a fool. So the whole time I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. And then when I got the call to come out there to audition for the whole team, I was like, what? Okay. So I really didn't know what to expect. That was the first time I ever been brought to a theater that wasn't in New York to audition for a show. So I was like, okay. But I knew something in me when I walked in the room with the creatives, and it was just, at first it was just me and them. I was like, something about this just feels right. It's going to be a challenge because they laid it out for me, what it was going to look like. And I knew, okay, these old, dusty, rusty chords are going to have to, da-da-da. I'm going to have to really, train, get my chops together for this, because I think honestly, mentally, I had just checked out. I had checked Dreamgirls off the, I'm getting older. I'm thinking, I'm never going to do this show. That time has passed. These chords have passed. And quite frankly, I'm tired of getting passed over for a reason that I can't do anything about. Just don't bring me in. You have the headshot. Don't bring me in. Like, what is this? Why are we? It's simple. So, but coming in the room, singing for them, and them just being so warm, and then I was not expecting them to bring Dina and Laurel in the room. 2 beautiful Black women I had never met, that just their energy and everything, I was like, oh, they mean business. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to pull all of my guns out to do this. And it was just lovely. And so after everything was over, I went to get food. And before my food came to the table, my agent called and were like, oh, they loved you and they want to make you an offer. So walk around town and figure out if this is where you want to be for the next month. It looks like this is going to be it. And so I was like, okay. And then I just started my journey to getting prepared for that. But that was how I got to be at Issaquah, at Village Theater in Issaquah.
So, Angela, you came in the room. We were all wearing boots. I don't know if you remember that. It was this random, like, I don't know why. And I don't know who commented on it first. It might have been me because I'm a nerd. I was like, oh, we all wearing boots. I got so excited. Like, that's kind of who I am. But then it was like, okay, great. So then, because we came in second, right? So you sang and then we came in. And so we came in and you were in the room and they were just like, hold for a second, we'll bring you in. I was like, great. And then I like put my ear up to the door and I was like, I was like, do you hear her? I was trying to whisper, but I was also like screaming, like, do you hear her? And it was like, yeah, cool. We all wearing boots. Huh. Cool. Tried so hard to like play it low, like, yeah, hi. Yeah, hi, I'm Alexandria. Nice to meet you. Yeah, you're great. Okay, let's do this. And I love that. I love the fact that you were hired, that you were cast, because I don't think the story has anything to do with colorism at all. They say it in the musical. I mean, his reasons were still bad, but he says the reasons why.
Right. What happens when Beyonce gets a hold of stuff?
Stop it now.
But that's the thing, that even though we know, we acknowledge that Black folks, we're not a monolith. We keep hearing that here. But part of the problem with Dreamgirls is that, the conflict in Dreamgirls is that Black people are kind of looked at as a monolith. Mm-hmm. You can kind of just switch us around. We're not viewed as individuals. We've seen that in the Temptation musical. We see it all over. The way Black artists and entertainers were viewed at that time, and sometimes still now, we don't have dimension. And so when there's such a distinction made, it's kind of like, why are y'all doing this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So I was very, Village will always have a special place in my heart because they gave me the opportunity based on the energy I brought in the room, I would assume, and the work that I did, not some stupid physical trait that, you know, can determine a whole casting situation. And my decision to take the contract and do it was not wrong. It was right to do. And I mean, I grew as a musician, as a vocalist, as an actor, because, you know, Effie demands that you kind of have to dig your heels in and really, it's not, I think often a lot of women who play that role, they think about, oh, I've got to lead a show. And it's really not that. You are leading a show because you're the lead, but your growth as the character takes all of us. It takes Curtis's development. It takes the girls coming to adulthood. It takes the conflict. It takes the backdrop of Detroit and the music industry back then. It's not just Effie has these powerful numbers and she has to be able to pull them off. Yes, that's part of it, but I'd rather hear and watch someone who may not be able to vocally execute every single moment, but her heart and her soul is into the reason, the why, the how she finds in the second act that she has to do what we're asking people to do now. Face yourself, figure out what your part is and fix that. Be willing to be vulnerable and raw and face you, because that's the only way you're really going to change. And Dreamgirls changed me. It showed me that, you know, you can do this. It's a tough role. It's a huge demand, but you've got a team. You're part of a team that is going to pull that off. And it's not just the people that were on stage. It was everybody backstage and front of house and in the booth that just took care of us the best way they knew how, and to get the job done. And I'll never forget it. It's one of the best experiences I've had so far in my career.
So, and if y'all didn't see her in this production, sorry about it. Actually, we have an announcement. We're remounting it.
Hello.
Just got an email from Park Theater.
Who?
Park. It's next to Village. Okay. Anyway.
You know what?
Really?
So.
From City Theater.
We don't have much time, and there's so much that I want. I want you to talk a little bit about your latest project.
Yes.
The Clark sisters. Give us a couple minutes, just telling us a little bit about that. You played Jackie Clark, the oldest Clark sister. Go ahead.
So just to give a little background for those that may not be familiar with the Clark sisters, I know sometimes we assume everybody knows who they are, but the Clark sisters are a legendary group of sisters, all blood sisters that have had a career spanning back to the 60s, like late 60s, 70s, from the great city of Detroit, my hometown, under the tutelage of their mother, Dr. Mattie Moss Clark, who, I guess for lack of a better comparison, think Joe Clark, think any like show mom that is going to make sure her kids are the best and do the best. And so for years, they've been trying to make this biopic about these ladies, because your favorite, that's their favorite. You can pretty much name any R&B, gospel, and some hip hop artists who, when you mention the Clark sisters, their faces light up. They've sampled them, they've featured them, they've been featured with them. You've seen them in every award show there is. They've won Grammys and Stellar Awards and every award you can think of. And so finally, Lifetime was able to get this off the ground, and we told their story. It was mostly centered around Mattie, their mom, but it needed to be that because it kind of helps you, see how these women's lives kind of became where they are. But also, it's kind of hard to tell 6 women's story in 2 hours. So
You're right.
We kind of made Mattie the central point. But I played Jackie Clark, who was the eldest of the clan. And actually, she's the only one who has a different father. A lot of people did not know that. They just assumed because she looks like them, they all have that similar sound and energy. But Mattie married her new husband, who was the father to all the rest of them, when Jackie was 2. So she didn't know anybody else but him and her mom, of course. So the movie, we followed their life, and and we culminate the story with them actually being in the very last scene of the film. And we had no idea the response that we would get. Our opening weekend, I think we finished, including the Monday where they did a special edition with Queen Latifah and Missy and all of them doing interviews. I want to say we were over 11 million in viewership, which made us the highest so far, the highest viewed cable movie of the year, and Lifetime's highest since like 2014 or 16 or something like that. And I have talked to Jamie Foxx, Lettucey. Oh gosh, the list goes on of people who are just blown away by the film, blown away by the performances. The sisters themselves are just so happy that their story was told. They got to kind of re-experience their mom again, who's been gone from us since the early 90s, beautifully and just stunningly played by the veteran, legendary Anjanou Ellis. And so it's been overwhelming. I mean, the movie aired April 11th. That was 2 months ago, and I'm still getting messages, and I'm doing interviews.
As you should.
Because it's amazing.
It's just floored me. So I'm so grateful and honored and humbled to be a part of telling their story, and to be an actor. You know, I did not sing really in the movie as a solo singer, which, you know, at first I was like, you know, but it actually gave me a chance to show a side of me that a lot of people that know me never really get to see, and those who don't know me at all, this is their first introduction to me, are like, oh, she's a great actor. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want, because people generally, you know, it's hard in this business. People, you book based on what people think, and then you can't really break out of that. So it's just been amazing, the response, the feedback. And apparently there's some Emmy buzz. We are, forecast is that we are very, very likely, very highly likely to be nominated for the film and for Best Leading Actress, Ms. Anjanou Ellis. So it may not be over yet. We may be Emmy contenders. We're very strong possibility.
It is so okay, and I can tell the audience whoever doesn't know who the Clark sisters are, you can watch the movie and learn. So you don't have to be like, oh, I don't know who the Clark sisters are, or like, I'm not really a fan of gospel. I don't really find myself particularly drawn to like religious genres. Especially if you're on this here Zoom webinar, you know some kind of craft around the arts, and you will want to just bathe in the excellence that are these actresses and these singers and these, like, the way, I'm not gonna say nothing, but even within the first 15 minutes of the movie, I said, oh, so we acting. Oh, yeah. So you're not gonna just let us have our little biopic. You're gonna come and just slay it. You're just gonna say, oh, no. You're gonna take this acting. Like, that's why we're not
biopic on Lifetime.
We're not surprised, Angela Birchett, about no Emmy buzz. We aren't, because and I mean, I'm not going to shit because you did a movie for them, but Lifetime did not have a good streak of biopics up until this point. And I said, now y'all can't do you can't do another biopic again. I don't know if y'all say biopic or biopic. I choose biopic.
Well, if it's on Lifetime, we're gonna call it a biopic. Except for the Clark sisters, so that was a biopic. I mean, seriously, it was brilliantly, and the work was evident, and it was beautiful, and I was like, I felt weird. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Small flex. I felt weird to text you, but just to be like, I'm like, I don't want to be all up in your mentions because I feel like you're super famous now, but I just want to let you know that you're amazing and I love you, and that's it. Okay, bye. Like, I know we friends, but I don't want to like say it. I don't want to say we friends just to say we friends, because that's weird. But like, amazing, from an artist to an artist, from an actor to an actor. Your work was so beautiful, Angela.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Beautiful. So y'all gotta go find it.
Please.
It's
The
on
Clark
Lifetime.
sisters. It's on Lifetime.
If you have like, you can do on demand, but I also believe, like, I've gotten several messages about people getting it on like Prime Video or Amazon or something like that. You can buy it for like $2 or something like that. But it's out there. You can watch it. And yeah, stay tuned. There might be, you know, some more buzz around it with the Emmys.
Yes. So the Clark sisters, first ladies of gospel.
Yes, yes.
I want to try and give us all a test because we haven't been told to stop. So I want to try something. I want to slide into what the kids want to know. The kids want to know section.
Why? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm a mom of my business. You go forward.
No, just because there's a lot of questions.
You're right.
There's a lot of questions.
Seeing them.
I want to give you a chance to answer them because they're great questions. But also, I think it's great to close the show with what we talked about. You feeling me, Boo Boo?
I do. I hear you. I'm with you. I apologize.
Feeling me,
I
wifey?
even question you. I don't know why I didn't even question you, Boo. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm gonna learn my place.
Y'all are crazy.
The kids want to know. This is why it works. But so we're gonna go ahead and read off some questions. If I think all these questions are for you. If they're not, we're gonna let them be so we can give you your time. Okay. So the first question is from Pamela P.
Yes.
What was a highlight from your time on the set filming the Clark sisters?
Oh man. Oh God, there were so many great moments, but I think probably my favorite moments were when we were shooting the performances. Because for several of them, we literally recreated the looks that these ladies made popular. Probably my favorite is our take on their Oakland performance. You can find it on YouTube, but they had like these flowy dress, like kind of peach colored dresses.
Yes,
ma'am.
Hair.
Yes, ma'am.
And it literally, like the first time I saw it, like got the screeners, you know, the cut right after they finished editing, I cried in that moment, and I cried. There's a moment where there's kind of a transition into a montage of us singing "You Brought the Sunshine," but it kind of shows like Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, that kind of, you know, moving out.
Yes, very much.
And to see us in those like yellow dresses, like literally, like I am a diehard Clark sister fan. I have always been. So to see, not only to see it recreated on screen, but for me to be up there, I was done. Like I couldn't deal with any of it. So that probably was my favorite time, was the performances, the Grammy performance. We recreated that. All of those were my favorites.
Yo, Al, you want to?
I do, yeah. Also, I also want to point out how much I enjoyed that asymmetrical wig cut. That one that was like here. You know what I'm talking about? She was bad. That girl right there, she was bad.
Shout out to Kim Kimball. I did not know this until after we wrapped.
No.
Kim Kimball designed all of our wigs.
That makes sense.
I was blown away. I said, of course Kim Kimball designed.
Yes, she did.
Oh my God.
Huh. They had a black woman do the wigs.
Well, we had, first of all,
you guys didn't even have to cut your own hair?
No. Jimmy, cool it with that. The serious face I can't take. But we had all black women on hair. So the wigs were styled and created by Kim, and then we had like all West Indian black women, Canadian West Indian black women doing our hair. It was incredible. The director was black. All the EPs were black. The first 6 people on the call sheet were black. Women, incredible. Like, floored by that.
Fantastic. Okay. The next. Oh, so I see your name. Do you want me to say your name? I'm gonna ask the question, and you give me a thumbs up if you want me to say the name. Angela, so good to see you. Can you talk about the casting process for your film?
Yes. So, and a lot of people are like shocked when I say this, but I was never seen in person. All of my auditions for this were self-tape. Yeah. And I actually was seen for 3 sisters. Jackie was actually the last sister that I was seen for. Originally, they had me go on tape for Twinkie. And then I didn't hear anything for a long time. Then I had a FaceTime meeting with the director, and she wanted me to go on tape for Denise and Jackie. And originally, it was just Denise. They didn't even mention Jackie. And then when I got the material, the Jackie sides were in there as well. And I said to my agent, can you make sure they want me to put this stuff on tape? Because if they're not interested in seeing that, then I don't want to waste their time. And he was like, oh, no, they want you to put both on tape. And as soon as I read the material for Jackie, I was like, this is the one. Like, this is who I should be playing. But yeah, I literally only did 2 tapings, the Twinkie taping and then the Denise Jackie taping. And then another maybe 3 weeks went by and I got the call that they made the offer for me to play Jackie. So just goes to show you, taping is the new frontier. Like that we're getting, especially with everything going on there, this whole coming in rooms now is going to be phased out. So everybody's got to get their setups together or get coachings for your tapes because they're going to be doing that. And I think some of the other ladies did actually have to go out to LA and audition, but I didn't. I just went on tape and that was that.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. That's almost like that's like the next step behind the direct booking. From Jeremy, Angela, I think you might have answered this, but you can speak a little bit more to it if you want. What's the most challenging role you've ever played? The most enjoyable or the most educational? You can do either or. Challenging, enjoyable, or educational.
Challenging, Effie, because there's an arc that has to happen, and I think sometimes when I look back on it, I even wish I had more time with it, or could do it again now that I've done it and I've lived even a little more, because it's such a specific progression with Effie that you have to take your time with it. And I think the mistake that a lot of actors make with that role, and I think I may have been guilty of this at one point too. We're so focused on, I got to be able to sing the big numbers. I got to be able to get through, and I'm telling you, and I'm changing, and blah, blah, blah. But really, that's a byproduct. It's the story, the angst and the energy has to be from the minute she runs on stage. It can't be, oh, I gotta pace myself to get to the end of this act. You do, but you gotta come out the cannon at the top. Mm-hmm. But she has to be grounded. She has to be, there's so many things. And I often wonder like what it would have been like if I got to play this when I first came to New York in my late 20s. And there was an opportunity for me to do it and I didn't get to do it. How different would it have been? But definitely Effie White, for sure, is the most challenging role to date that I've played. Nice.
Alexandria, we got a few more questions. I want to know how you want to do this.
So it's weird because I kind of want to answer. But also at the same time, like, y'all hear from us every week, and I want to tap in while we can. But at the same time, like, some of these questions are really great. I do want to ask, what is something you dreamed about doing when you were a kid outside of the performing arts, and just kind of and the room? And we can give some thinking time to that. So I want to make sure that question is answered too, because I feel like that's fun and light and fancy free.
Yeah.
I think we should just keep rolling through these questions and then.
All right. Well, do you want to kick in that question? Because I know ain't nobody told us to stop. So welcome to the party.
I see no
happy hour.
We got a stage manager, and
we started a little bit late, so we having good convo. So
right at my Twitter name, so I know it's real.
Baby girl said, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna keep this thing going."
Let go.
As long as
we want to make sure we're respecting your time, Angela.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm on the East Coast side.
Yeah.
Listen,
all right. So
all that's going to happen after this is the bras coming off, and I'm going to go in here and warm up some fish and rice and watch a movie. So
okay, talk about it. Okay, so the question that Alexandria just read off from Andy. What is Andy Alhada? What is something you dreamed about doing when you were a kid outside of performing arts? All three of us. I'll go. I've always been in the arts. So as a kid, the only other thing that I ever wanted to do was be like a sketch artist or a gymnast.
Oh, I can totally see the gymnast.
I was.
Oh, you sketch too, don't you?
Yeah.
Amen. Angela, do you know? I have an answer. So you let me know if you got it.
I didn't really. I loved doing this. Like this was my whole family are musicians, and yeah, I think I'm doing all those things. I nothing rings a bell off the top of my head. I had a brief moment of like being an athlete. I played lots of sports and stuff, but that was only because my school didn't have music. But I had music at church, and I played an instrument. So, but no, I'm living my dreams.
I wanted to make pizza. Yeah, see, I'm not even kidding. Little young Alexandria, all she wanted was to be like a pizza maker.
What made you like pizza like that?
It's bomb.
Live television friends. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Yeah, no, I've always just wanted to be a pizza maker. I don't really know. I honestly ran from music for the longest time. My family's in music, and so I was like, that's not me. No thanks. And so I was like, y'all go ahead and do this music thing. I'm gonna either make pizzas and I went to school for science to study genetics. And then that didn't go so well because I don't like science. Sorry, Jesse. So there's that. So all I want to do is make pizzas, and then Jesus said, "Girl, you already know what it is. Okay, cut it out. Stop playing them games. No, anybody got time for these reindeer games." Okay, so I will ask you this question, then Angela, and then Jimmy can return. What is your current dream role?
I haven't seen a dream role yet, honestly. But I guess the characteristics of it would be completely funny and just can say whatever she wants to say. Like comedy actually is like my favorite thing to do. I literally will just say whatever comes to my mind. I'll get on Instagram and just say whatever stupid stuff I want to say.
So good.
I'm writing a sort of a sketch thing for me to just be funny because I make my own self laugh with just the foolishness.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen it yet, but it would definitely be a role that encompasses music and like just ratchet comedy. Like I can say what I want, I can cuss how I want. That would be it.
I'm here for it. So you want to be on our show, Good Shit, Hood Shit, with Jimmy, and Sarah Russell?
All the way.
Ahead. We'll give you free license. You can say whatever you want. Theater Puget Sound is funding it.
It'll be filmed at Park Theater.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. All three. Ooh. What? Oh no. I wanted to ask this question. I don't want to skip this question. Angel asked, can you speak about the team, if any, that you've built to help you stay a working artist for as long as you have, an agent, etc.? And what lessons can you share about that process?
Good question.
Deep, right?
I always say you have to have a really realistic gauge of where you are in your career to determine what you need. I was all like years ago, I would get, you got to have an assistant, you need a publicist, you need this, you need that, but you really don't if you don't have the volume of work or things that would present a need for that, because then you're just going to be paying people to do stuff you could just do yourself. Now, I will say, I've had a manager for years. I've been with Greg now maybe five or 6 years now. And he's great, but there are a lot of things that I feel like I kind of manage myself. And it's mostly because I've built relationships for years that he just either wasn't here yet or he just isn't a part of. So before you jump out there and get a manager, have things to manage. You may just need an agent. And you need an agent that has the reach Was that rude? I'm sorry. Listen.
Oh, it's exactly what I said I loved about you. It's real.
No, because you'll spin your wheels thinking something's supposed to happen that's not going to happen.
No, I promise you, it was so good. It just it hit me actually a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of hurt, but it's fine.
I think people need to hear this because they think they're doing something extra by having a manager, and you're not, other than you're going to be paying more money.
Right, losing that.
Eventually, you're going to need an agent as well.
Yeah.
Because, managers are who bring in the team of people who get you in rooms and get you work. Unless you have a manager who operates as an agent as well, as does mine. But like his strongest suit is theater. He has reach in television, but we're going to add a television agent. And I've had television agents in the past because you need people with as much reach as what goes with what you've done and your skill set. Mm-hmm. Because there's no sense in having it and they get you in a room and then you bomb, or you just aren't prepared, or you can't handle it, or you're just not there yet. So my advice is to just, find an agent that understands who you are as an artist, and just will do the pushes, we'll do the pitches, we'll do those things, because that's what you need. Now I'm at a point where I need a manager, but not like a agent manager. You know what I mean? Like I it's other things. Like I'm managing myself. I book a lot of things on my own. I do have a publicist, but even that, there are still people that come directly to me that I have to kind of funnel back to him to get everything on the schedule correct, so I don't double book or miss something or whatever. But don't pay money for things you don't need. I didn't get a publicist until a couple of months out from the film. You don't need it. But really, more important, and people ask this question, and when I look at what's going on, I realize they're putting more energy into that than themselves. And right now is the perfect time. Have the chops, have the thing when you walk in the room that you could have walked in the room without any reps and booked the job. That's how fierce you have to be. It's just the reality of it.
That's a good word, Angela.
So stop focusing on looking like you got something, and then you get in the room and they're like,
what you got?
Or you get what you got and it's like, and not because you're not talented. You got to find that thing. I tell people all the time when I'm asked this, what should I do when I go in the room? Bring you. Now I'm not saying be completely outside of the material, but that's what people are drawn to. They're not drawn to this performance that you put on in the room. They're drawn to, oh, whoa, I felt that when she walked in here, her energy. And that's not easy to find, especially if you're younger and I'm 41 years old. Mama done lived a little bit. I done splattered on the ground a few times. I've made the mistakes, and I'm still making them. I'm still growing. So I don't expect someone just out of conservatory or fresh into the business to harness that. But that's where your mind needs to be. Fuck a whatever agent or whatever you looking for. We got the one fuck in for the whole.
Yeah. Well, we got two now.
But folk harness that. Harness your fire. What is your fire when you walk in? Even if you're not right for the project, or you just had a bad day, they don't forget you. Mm-hmm. And that's a lifelong chase.
Angela, without asking you to truly educate beyond what we can afford, amen. Do you think it is possible for that sort of energy, that sort of vibe to be felt through video self-tape submissions as we are headed into the new frontier?
Yes, and I think even more so because you have the opportunity to get it right. You have the opportunity to try different things without a team sitting there looking at you, or even not even getting the opportunity to do that. Just recently, for example, I was working on a self-tape and I was quarantined with Titus. So I was with him for almost 2 months. So I had tapes coming in, and I actually got like a little annoyed with him because I was just asking him to help me set up something. And he starts giving me notes and direction and like going off, because he's like, I know you're not gonna just stand in front of this camera and sing the song. I'm like, yes, I am. Like, what else would why, for this project, why would I do anything else? He said, honey, everybody's going to do that. Give them something to look at, to be excited about, even if it's just entering the frame, as opposed to opening it with you in the frame, or exit the frame, or turn your back and turn around if it's appropriate. But we somehow along the way as artists, we put restrictions on ourselves, like we can't try things. So I feel like this is the time to give yourself full permission.
Artists, y'all better be taking notes.
Because the worst thing they can do is hit delete, and you won't know. So all I say is, it's better to have all these things than to go in there and give them something sterile after they've seen 35 other people do the exact same thing. So my answer is yes, like you have the opportunity to truly show who you are without the nerves, without the judging what you're doing, without putting on to the creatives what they think. They ain't the fuck there. It's you and a lens and the material. Have fun.
Yeah.
People love to watch you have fun. People love to watch you be you. And it may be a take on something they're like, oh, I certainly didn't think that, but I'm intrigued because they pulled their balls out and said, oh, well, I'm gonna do this and just do it. Why not? And you're
right. No, I mean, although I'm not gonna lie, I would be a casting director for that. I mean,
listen, me too. I'm not gonna lie.
Girl,
it's dry over here.
It's hard times.
I'll invite you to my
Piedmont High.
But this is the and you have time to work on stuff. So when you're ready to give your final performance, you've done it 20, 30 times or however many times you need. So yes, like don't just turn in whatever because this is what's on the paper. Have fun. Why not?
I love it. Okay, I want to do two more. Jimmy, can I choose one and then you choose one? Actually,
I
know which ones I want
to choose. The
same two.
So probably.
Yeah, I want to know. Tyra wants to know who was or is the most influential person in your career.
Oh my God. Well, see, that's hard because I'm a live singer. Then I do musical theater. And then this, that, and the third.
She said, I have multiple careers. Amen.
I
want to thank me. Okay.
For the sake of, theater and what we're talking about, probably, there's a few. I love the versatility of Lillias White.
Amen.
Because she could have very easily allowed herself to be pigeonholed, and she didn't. And she's just a fun lady. I've had a chance to chop it up with her a couple times and meet her a few times, and she's so fun. And it's like the older she gets, the better she gets or something. I don't know. She don't care. She just gets up and does her thing. So definitely Lillias White is one that I'm always like, wow. And this is another one that I think probably will surprise people. Cynthia Erivo. Now, Cynthia is several feathers behind me in living life and age and all the things, but I don't know that I've experienced someone that is, new to us, be so bold. She is bold. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just a cultural thing or, she grew up in a family where she was taught no limitations or whatever. I don't know what it is, but she is just fearless. And we see the career that she's just starting. She's just starting, and has multiple major award nominations for various works. And I'm inspired by her. And every time I get to chat and because she just thinks I'm the most buffoonish, craziest person. So most of the time when we catch up, we just laugh. But I try to share with her all the time that I'm inspired by her. And I know she gets a lot of flack, and that's another story, another convo for another day. But I am inspired, and I appreciate her boldness, her tenacity, her willingness to be a Black woman that don't ask for permission. She just does it. I rocks with that.
I think we're probably going to ask the same last question. I love you all. We love you all. You're fabulous. If we didn't get to your question,
I know. Sorry, but I'll try to go back and type answers if I can.
Timothy wants to know, how are you maintaining your well-being? Can you just speak to that a little bit? And all of that you do, how do you maintain your well-being? all of that.
I have and have had for years a very strong village of people that I lean into, that hold me accountable, that encourage me, that just treat me normal. You know what I mean? Not that I'm like, that came out wrong, but they're not phased by anything I'm doing or that I'm gone for 3 and 6 months at a time. It doesn't matter. They are just my regular day ones that just keep it 100 with me. And I think that's so important to have, and to have a place where you can just be you and speak freely and share. I keep coming back to Titus, and not because it's him, but because he is one of those people that has been an example to me for just being able to stay grounded with all of the things that are thrown at you and this persona that people have of him. He just knows how to ground himself and how to get where he needs to be so he can stay where he is and be a regular human being. And it's been such a great model for me, and encouragement for me, both in watching him and just being able to just have somebody I can break it down to and be accountable to. And, so definitely that exercise is a big thing for me. I like to run. So when these hips and these knees will allow it, I get out and I'll just hit the neighborhood and run, or just, walk and think, spending time with my nieces, who are my pride and joy. You would think I had them the way I talk about them and post about them and hang with them. But I'm not a mom, but I definitely have a maternal side of me that I get to express with them. And it has saved my life in moments, has saved my life. They make me fight. They make me fight for what I want in my life, and they make me fight when otherwise things will make me just say, oh, forget it. And it's not anything they say or do, it's just they count on me to be me and to show up. And that's important for children, to show up for them and show up as you, not as like another mom or somebody that they, got to hear a lecture from. I just show up on some real shit for them, but they don't know how much them showing up for me helps me. So that's how I stay in a good place.
Oh, and Safai, right?
My God,
am I saying her name right?
Yes.
Safai sang.
Oh,
She blessed me. And I was like, I felt like validated as one of those little kids in church who like feel it and immediately start crying, because it was real. She is such a beautiful soul and a beautiful life. And I am so glad that you have her and she has you, because that was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a moment I think we all needed, to just have and be in. So I'm grateful too. Shout out to Mama and Papa Patterson for letting me be the god mom that cusses and fusses and makes them sing harmony when they don't want to, and plays at the pool in the summer with them for hours. And
come on, Angela Marquardt.
Okay.
Oh, they get so sick of me, but then the next day they're calling like, Auntie, so I want to show you this song that I've been working on, and can I perform with you, like when you do your thing again? Like, and they come prepared. They're ready, because they know my standard is up here. I'm not with the shits. If you're not ready,
you empower them to perform. You empower them.
If that's what they want, and so far they enjoy it. So until they don't, I'm with it.
Perform. Oh, that's a beautiful
Ooh,
word.
Look at that segue.
Andrea, I love that. Alexandria, I love that word, perform.
Do you? Why?
Because it's like, I don't even know. It's not even something I can express verbally. It's something I have to like feel or get from someone.
Oh, is that me? You putting it down for me to pick up? Are you launching it so I can spike it?
Go ahead, kick that.
Angela Birchett, would you mind blessing this audience with a little 2x2, a little 4x4?
Ooh, Lots of wine.
I know. I know it's midnight 30 over there. You can do whatever you like, or you can say, no, I ain't doing it.
No,
Or we can try and harmonize on Zoom, and each of us sing off beat by half a beat.
The canon nobody asked for.
You remember that one time that click track started late?
Ooh.
Without these dream girls,
Without
we
these
can do
dream
that.
girls, we cannot survive.
These funky ladies keep our fantasies.
These funky ladies keep our fantasies alive.
You know, you guys, we did not get to talk about Dream Girls and like the moments and the things. We didn't get a chance.
We're gonna have to have you back.
Please, I would love to. Anytime.
And I think I have an idea when we're gonna talk Alexandria.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen because I've had wine. I think in since we're talking about the Clark sisters, I love to sing You Brought the Sunshine, so I'll sing a little bit of that. Hope it comes out okay. You brought the sunshine in my life. You threw out the lifeline. You saved my life. Since then I have found Christ. There has been such a change in my life. Oh, Jesus is the answer. It breaks every fetter. It really doesn't matter. There's nothing impossible, nothing too hard for my God to work out. No matter what the problem, God can always solve them. Cast your cares upon him. Try until day he will brighten up in your day. So he'll come your way when you hear your prayer and with your active with it. I know he will. Woo!
Oh!
Oh, Jimmy!
And you did the part. Ah, man, my God, today. Woo! Y'all don't even know what that is like for me in my childhood and little Jimmy watching that VHS tape that I still found because I went to my parents' house 2 days ago and dug it up.
Wow.
Oh, man, thank you.
Oh,
wow.
man.
And can I just say that you auditioned for like 1 or 2 or 3 parts. You couldn't have sang every single part. Every single part. That tonality that we just got, the ease, like it was right in that, the intonation, like just, we don't deserve you.
Oh.
And don't.
Y'all making my face hurt from smiling.
We are so truly blessed. No.
What happened?
Because I'm doing this and I'm trying not to.
No,
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm Robin Henderson, man. This is who I am. That was a very beautiful cap on a very rough week. And I am thankful for you. Thank you for even the little snippet. I appreciate it. It's a blessing. It's uplifting. It's revitalizing. That's who you are. That is what you do. That is, and I'm thankful that we know you, that we can call on you, that we can talk to you. I mean, I know that you got people who treat you like you're normal. I'm still gonna treat you like you're famous because you are. But I am so truly honored and thankful that you would want to come on TPS Tonight and sing, to key with us, to talk with us, to lay some real truths out there. And I hope that this has been uplifting for all of us out there who are watching.
And thank you everybody that's on. I'm seeing the questions pop up and I'm so sorry we didn't get to everything, but I'm grateful that people even want to come and hang and listen and just kick it with us. Like this was awesome. This was awesome. And you guys are great hosts, by the way. You guys, your chemistry is great. You're great hosts. Yes.
Thank you, Angela.
Sweet.
I appreciate that. Okay. So Jimmy, do we want to announce who's going to be on next week?
I think we do. There's a, you know what? Can I just take a moment to say a little bit about the behind the scenes of what's happening next week?
I would love that. I cede the floor.
The world, I'm gonna take it. Thank you. the world is in chaos. It's in turmoil. We're all hurting, and everybody wants to be seen. Next week, our shows are not transitioning to anything crazy, but we're transitioning a little bit to more getting to know the people behind the scenes, the people that make the things work that we do, the stages that we step on, the props that we use. So we're sliding into a little bit more of that and the administrative side of stuff in the next couple shows, our next few shows. And the guests that we have next week, each one came to us individually to express that if this space was better used for a Black forum, for a Black artist, for a Black stage manager, that they are more than willing and okay giving up their spot. And I'm saying this, one, because that's beautiful. And I know these humans, and they are beautiful humans, and I expect nothing less from them. But I'm saying that, two, because anybody that knows me knows I love stage management. They make my world go round. I had a stage manager I had 2 stage managers for my wedding. And
She sure did and needed it.
Right?
And I mean,
and
one of my, if I could just interject.
Yeah, please.
I know they're here. Hands down, Miranda, that's here. Man, I don't know that I've had a better stage manager, and I've worked with some pretty awesome ones. So I'm so glad that you guys are going to be highlighting that. Shout out to Pam, Miranda, everybody who worked on Dreamgirls. Like, y'all legit looked out for us. And I'll never forget it. Took care of us, didn't make any things that we needed to have fixed or done like we were being divas. They treated us like, yes, like you should say what you need and tell us, and we'll do our best to get it done. And I'll never forget when I was having some issues with the air in Seattle and the pollen, it really took me down. Miranda literally, like, if somebody could be on the inside of my butt, as we like to say, when, you know, she literally, when I was going down in flames, she said, hey, if you want me to stop this show, I will stop this show, but I don't want you going out there being unsafe. And I've worked with stage managers who could give a piss about that. They want you to get out there and get the show done because they're worried about patrons, they're worried about the money, they're worried about their bosses. And they didn't. And she said, you give me the word and I'll call it. And she made me not feel afraid or shame or guilty to say, I'm in trouble and I'm gonna hurt myself if I go out here. I don't have to do that. So Miranda, if you're still here, girl, thank you. I'm glad that some highlighting is gonna happen because they are the unsung heroes of theater. They keep things moving and the audience is none the wiser.
She's
Shout
here.
out to y'all.
And so
don't do it.
I mean, and that's just the real of it. And we say all of that to say that these are the people, as entertainers, performers, that we put our lives in their hands. And this comes, if you ever had any doubt, these actions, these statements, the thoughtfulness is one of the reasons why these people rock my world, why stage managers just, there's no theater without them.
No. And that's the reason why they even said, I remember getting a text message like, oh, I heard from all of our, do we just want to say their names right now?
Yeah.
So
we're
next
going to go
week,
ahead and announce also who's happening.
Next week, we are having Pamela Campy-Spee, Miranda Pratt,
I'm here.
Colleen Nielsen, 3 of the baddest stage managers in this entire region. And like, there are a whole slew of stage managers we could have asked too. So please don't get it twisted. And Black folk, come for me if you want to. We get that they're white and we get the stuff that's happening right now, but they already came to us and tried to say that they was going to sit down. And we were like, no, because this is the reason why. Like, y'all are thoughtful and considerate, and we need to know what's happening behind the scenes just as much as we need to know how actors feel their dreams, how the musicians work, and da-da-da-da. Like, I will say this, the thing about the space launch last week that I loved so much was that every time there was commentary, they were quiet for the communication between SpaceX and Houston. And it felt like the stage management calling for the Endeavor, and they say, yep, da-da-da-da, copy, yep, da-da-da-da. And they would go back and forth, and I'm like, It never fails. Whenever Pamela is SMing, she lets me sit in the booth and just hear how they run their show. It is a brilliant masterpiece. And if you're an actor and you don't value your stage manager, you're going to get these words, because they are amazing and they are what makes the show run. And we are thrilled to have them as our guests next
And
year.
it'll be the first time that we are taking on 3 guests at once. So I'm excited about that, because the stories from all of their years and experience of working in the field is going to be bananas. Tonight was our longest show. Come on, Angela. No, and it's okay. We needed to know that we could do it. Okay. I would be interested to see how long next week's show goes, and how many actors show up.
And I hope
we need to show up for them.
They do, and this is so. They are vital is not even vital is like an understatement of a word. Like the puzzle pieces, y'all. Like the puzzle pieces that come. You can't have a quick change without stage managers. You can't have. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't have. Come on. I can't wait.
So frazzled, like what stage managers and backstage folks that are dressing us and getting us moving around. The stress level. Because I've never been one, but I would assume that there's a level of stress that this if their job if they don't do what they need to do, it could tear up a whole show. And who voluntarily takes on that type of pressure?
And we're acting like this is like calling the show as a show. We're not even talking about rehearsals where all of that happens. Tech week where their cues that get
taping out the floor
that gets like erased, and then like Q 11.2.6
like
go
what?
Q 11.5.2.5 because we changed the lights after this last tech. Y'all, I cannot wait for this discussion. The nerd in me is so excited. So it is going to be a beautiful time, and we encourage y'all to come back because it will be informative and delightful. And these women, these human beings, are absolutely amazing. And to be able to have experienced them on multiple different shows. And actually, for me, Colleen was my stage manager on another show that had to do with like race relations, and was just brilliant in like making sure that we had everything we needed. What do you need? Are you good? Are you good? Are you good? Like an excellent facilitator. And then Miranda and Pamela giving us the space to be Black as hell. I've cried like a baby when Dreamgirls closed, because it was my first show that I actually didn't have to code switch. I could literally just be myself. I didn't have to explain the cute little sayings that we would say in the colloquialisms. I didn't have to do none of that. And they would like welcome me. They would like, hey, we want to be a part of your space. Or they'd be like, yo, this space is yours. We're going to be over here chilling. But like, I absolutely cannot wait for that discussion. It will be lovely. Y'all gonna want to register. Please register early or late. Just be here. Be in the room.
Right. Just be in the room. Just be present. This was a fabulous show. I love the both of you to pieces. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for tonight.
Yeah.
Angela,
awesome. Thank you again so very much.
So welcome.
Jimmy, thank you for being my co-host. I love that I have this anchor every week when shit's going wrong and crazy in the world. Like we talk and we go, all right, we're gonna do this. And we're each other's happy place. I hope I'm that for you. But I mean, you're that for me. So yes. I just want to let you know that I'm so thankful to do this with you. I know I post about it on Facebook, but I want to tell the people who are watching right now that I love this man. I mean, this is my right hand, but I always do like, we married.
So stupid. Gosh. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Angela, again, thank you for it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning there. So
Seriously.
thank you.
This is my time of night, so this is perfect.
Oh, okay. Turn up. Thank you for being here.
I'm up.
And thank you everybody for watching. Tune in next week. We will have Colleen Nielsen, Miranda Pratt, and Pamela Campy Speed, the most fabulous stage managers. We will see you then. Anything before?
God bless you, mate. Keep your game tight.
Change the world. Bye, y'all.
Black Lives Matter.
Once you go black, you're going to change the world.